you're going to see a ton of bowl games before we talk to you again. So let's start with an absolute banger. The Ramblin' Wreck, Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets take on UCF. Gus Malzahn, a close personal friend now, no big deal. But Gus Malzahn, the UCF Knights take on Georgia Tech in the Gasparilla Bowl, 5:30, 22nd. I believe it's the next bowl game up. No, I'm sorry. There's Marshall and UTSA in between there, but that will already be happening by the time you listen to this. Let's start with Georgia Tech, UCF. I believe JP is taking us through this one.
Yeah, absolutely. This is one that I had circled. We didn't put it on our bowls that we're looking forward to. But I think this is one to look at and be like, Georgia Tech, man, you're happy to be here. I think that's a situation where Haynes King has been really good for them. That's a team that needed a quarterback that was seasoned and to come into that program and win football games. And he did, right? Did they get a little bit of a gift to be at 6-6 when you look at the Miami game? Yeah, but who cares? They're here, right? UCF, I think that is a team that probably wanted to be 7-5, 8-4. Didn't come off that way. End of 6-6. Plumlee's last game at UCF, probably. I think Haynes King is going to be a guy that you look at to really build this program farther. Here's my thing with the whole breakdown of this game. Two teams that can't stop the run, and a Georgia Tech team that's been good through the air, hitting big plays, and a UCF team that's been awful on defense if you go against the big play or against the run in general, right? So these are two teams that could usually when you get two good running teams, you're going to have a slower pace game, kind of go through it. I don't see that here. UCF's going to want to go quick. I could see Georgia Tech just taking advantage of it and hitting big run after big run. It's going to be a ton of fun, and there's not a ton of opt-outs in this situation. The biggest one would be Georgia Tech's kid, Kyle Kennedy, had 6 sacks, 54 tackles on the year. That's it's a loss because if you got a guy with 6 sacks, obviously he's making a difference, 54 tackles. But can Georgia Tech slow down the rush attack enough to give Haynes King a chance to kind of open up this game, right? Like Georgia Tech's been good on the ground. They've been pretty good in the air, but it's been downfield yards per completion, over 12.5 yards per completion for Georgia Tech. UCF's been rough at it. So for me, it's 5. Did I see 5? 5 seems like quite a bit because I could see this game being close, right? I could see 3. I could see Georgia Tech winning outright. I think a lot of things I had UCF winning it just because I really like their scheme and how they play football. But I think this is not a great matchup for them. I think this is, if you were UCF, you wanted a team that was going to be a little weaker in the run game versus you.
I believe I saw this one is at Raymond James in Tampa. Boy, if the weather in Florida keeps repeating itself, it could be a messy one. I mean, look at App State in the Cure Bowl, how messy that football game was. That stuff matters when it comes to this, and I think Georgia Tech gets the advantage there because of how bad UCF is at defending the run, which you pointed out, JP. So I'm going to roll with them. They're my team to make a bowl game. I believe in Brent Key. Give me Georgia Tech to win this one. Jake, who you got?
I think both schools are pretty happy to be there with their 6-win seasons. I think Georgia Tech was a little more fluky. I mean, look at the Miami game, for instance. UCF ranks 4th in rushing attack. Like, I don't think we talked about that too much because Georgia Tech ranks 128th in their rush defense. They give up 225 yards a game. I'm going to go with strength on weakness here.
Ball's going to be wet, Jake. Ball's going to be wet. Don't doubt it.
And if it is, hey, that's great. I hope it turns into a slugfest and running the football. Give me UCF. It's not great to take a favorite because favorites have not been doing well so far in bowl season, but I'm going to go with the Knights here.
Reese, who you got?
I'll take the Ramblin' Wreck. I like congratulations to Parksy with his call out from the beginning of the year. Georgia Tech. Yep. I mean, making a bowl game. They got gifted one,
they
but
did it backwards,
I'm not going to apologize for winning. So
they beat a ranked team and lost to just some dog shit opponents. they did not do it the way I said.
Either way, we're at 6-6, and we're on the right trajectory for our program next year, Mr. Key. So give me the Yellow Jackets here.
Love it. All right, JP, you gave us the preview. Give us your pick.
Yeah, I'll take UCF in this situation. Both teams rank in the top 10 in yards per carry. Both teams rank outside the top 120 in yards per carry given up on defense. But I was big on UCF beginning of the year. I still think that they were more of a 7-5, 8-4 talent team. A little bit better of a defense. Hopefully they can slow Haynes King down because he's been the entire Yellow Jacket offense. I'll take the Knights.
All right, there it is. There's a Gasparilla Bowl. We got a 2-2 split between UCF and Georgia Tech. Let's move on to the next one.